sir.
All right. Morning, Cynthia. Morning, Andre. Morning, Gani. Morning, Rizal. Looks like the frat house is live and lovely. So, no, sorry. The Jogja base is live and lovely. The frat house is quiet. It's quieter than it's ever been. Okay, let's go ahead and just take a look and see who is supposed to be chairing today. Oh, right. I would be chairing. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, wait. It should be Andre, right? Andre, you think you're ready?
I think yesterday you said that you're going to lead this meeting
I
again.
did. I have a terrible memory. Thank you. Thank you for the reminder, Andre. Yes. So I believe what I said was we still don't have a definite project management structure yet for leading. So we'll go through a few times until we get it a little bit more efficient, and then we can probably start circulating it so you all have some chairman leadership experience. Okay, let's begin then. I think where we left off last time, based on some feedback, was that we should look at different cards. So let's go ahead and take a look at Cynthia's card. All right, this is going to be interesting. Cynthia just had a major event, BVE Talk 2, and there's some good things that we can discuss about. So, all right, let's put that card up on the stack. Okay. And Cynthia has a takeaway. Oh, okay. All right. So Cynthia wrote the notes. Thank you, Cynthia, for keeping up with the meetings. Yes, if you have any takeaways, please write it on your card. That will be a good way to sort of just keep it in the front of your mind. Okay, next over to, let's see. Next over, Vidya's not here. Tendy's supposed to be here. I'm waiting for Tendy to get here. Let's go look at Andre. Andre! You have some cards. Let's see. Which card would you like to have us review? Oops, Andre just disappeared. Okay, Andre's back now.
Hello.
Yes. Hi, Andre.
Okay. Since I'm also you giving me a task to renew some card on community, I'd like you to open the CSC based inquiry, please, sir. Is there? Oh, should I attach it? Let me attach it there.
All right. Well, Andre attaches it. We'll open another card. Let's go over to Gani. Gani, I don't think we looked at your cards yesterday. So this is optimizing Facebook page to get new leads, right?
I forgot to change the card, but I already update card.
Okay. All right. That's first step in project management. Need to keep the project. Gani, perhaps this is outside your normal orbit. How can we bring this back to your normal orbit?
Normal, sorry, sir. What do you mean?
Okay, so what I've seen, this is a common occurrence actually, maybe we can put this up as a discussion topic, is your habits, I think, sometimes create the awareness or lack of awareness of when things change. And so what I believe Gani does not do right now is, Gani, do you ever check Trello notifications? The question is to Gani.
Yes. I always check the notifications, sir.
Oh, okay. If you check Trello notifications, that's good. Then what I'll do is we will just say, Gani, please update this card. Okay. Next, let's go over to Rizal. Rizal, do you have any cards that you would like us to take a look at?
Yes, but basically I want to change. Previously, we discussed about Facebook catalog ads, but right now I want to discuss about the Thailand ads, Thailand Facebook ads.
Okay, let's take a look at that. I've opened the Thailand Facebook ads. Those are loading right now. Okay,
Yeah.
Next to, we have space for one more. Oh, Gani's made a change. Okay, something has happened here. Okay, thank you. All right, Gani, over to you. Do we have C 3.5?
Yeah, 3.5, sir.
Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and open that. Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and take a look down the. Let's take a look at these projects, and I think what we want to keep mindful of is the project good at discovering? Is it good at prioritizing? Is it good at problem solving? And is it good at execution? So we'll take a look at some of those understandings, right? We'll start with Cynthia's project first. Okay, Cynthia, all right, congratulations. BVE Talk 2 just happened yesterday, which was pretty fun. And we were talking about remote working culture. Okay, all right. First thing, let's take a look. Intended outcome. This is as a learning source, platform to share for the actionable way of professional networking. Another way to increase the awareness of Bukit Vista and national global scale. Okay, interesting. Let's go to Cynthia. Do you believe the intended outcome was successful or not successful?
I think it's not yet clear because for the global scale, we haven't like hold a webinar in a global scale, which is a national scale. But yeah, I think
Okay,
it's like 200 people already know BV more
okay,
for the webinar.
very good.
That's yeah.
Okay, very good. What I would let's go over and see if we have good knowledge about this. Let's go over to Ara. Ara, in the case where we discover our intended outcome has not been reached, what would be a rational next step for, let's say, the next pivot of this card?
So the intended outcome that is not fully reached is that which part, sir?
Well, Cynthia said that it was not reached at a global scale because this was
Oh,
mostly a domestic project. Yeah.
well, this is what I've been think. I've already discussed with Kiki yesterday, as in the global scale would be having an e-talk with international university, right?
Sure.
So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Like if Cynthia's also want to do that, maybe can also work with me and Kiki to achieve that. Like Kiki is right now contacting SMU, right? Having projects with SMU to have a webinar and e-talks with SMU. So maybe Cynthia can also what is it? Um, Started to actually professional outreach with global university if you want to bring it to global scale.
Excellent. Okay, thank you very much. Let's go over to Rizal. Rizal, this is in a way it's a marketing project, and Gani, in a way, this is a brand awareness project. So, what would be the leading KPIs that Cynthia could use to determine if her project was more, less, or not successful?
I think like how many people that are reaching us after that BV talk, and uh, how many people that convert to our internship.
Very good. All right, that is actually really interesting. Let's go over to Gani. Gani, does that strike? What do you have to say about that?
Um, yeah, I'm pretty much same with Mas Rizal, and we can use our data insight for our social media as the KPI. I mean, how many people that reach us on Instagram, how many people reach us on Facebook and LinkedIn and something like that.
Okay, all right. We can look at our social media engagement. Let's see. There's another list that we have, Cynthia. It's probably one of our biggest lists right now, and it's one of our biggest tools right now for reaching university students. What could be another measurement, Cynthia, on how successful you are? What list am I talking about?
Um. Oh well, I'm not really sure that I really get it well. But this is for the next. I mean, like the next indicator for the successful on the
Hmm.
next before quarter.
It could be an indicator of overall success. Like this list is a database, and the size of that list could indicate how successful you've been, like with this
Mm.
entire project. What do you think that list is called?
Uh, that list. Well, actually, is it on? Since it's for also intern, it's in the HR list, no?
No, no, it's not. Okay, Rizal, what's the? Let's not forget we have a very traditional communication source, right? And so far, Cynthia, this list has over 1,000 people in it. And let's go over to Rizal. What could that list possibly be?
For the success indicator, sir.
Yeah, as one of the success indicators of knowing that we're increasing awareness of Bukit Vista in a national and global scale.
Um, I think I don't know, like people that want to sign up to our uh, job. and then the Bukit Vista slash job is increasing. The number is increasing.
Okay, that's a website, is
Um,
it? Okay, good, 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 good.
yeah.
There's an email list, everyone, Cynthia, right? It's a gigantic email list, and you have over a few thousand entries in it from all the
Yeah.
people that have signed up, right? And this email list is part of how it's like a follower list in a way. Now, for people who say nobody uses email anymore, I would tend to disagree. And how we know is we use this really great tool, Mailchimp. So what Mailchimp allows us to do is we import all the contacts from each round of webinars to MailChimp. From that, we create campaigns on MailChimp. And from these campaigns, we send out email templates. We can send out as many times as we want. But we can also see overall what the open rate is and the number of clicks are. So on the last campaign, the Erlanga, we had about 28 to 30% open rate, depending upon how quickly we send the email out following the webinar. If we send it out immediately, then we probably will get 100% action. If we send it out a little bit longer, we'll probably. So I think that's one of the success indicators too, as well, for understanding how this project works. Okay, do I have a secretary here? Let's see. Let me see who my secretary is. Let's go over secretary. I think we can start working on now. Give me a second here. The first secretary will be Andre. Andre, would you be kind enough to take some of these notes? And I'll put Cynthia's card here. And if you'll be so kind, please put these notes on Cynthia's card. Yeah?
Sure, sure.
Okay. Oh, but please put it on Cynthia's card over on her leadership section, so that way it is part of her permanent understanding of leadership. Tendi, welcome. How you doing, Tendi?
I'm good, sir. I'm on the way to Seminyak and Canggu.
Okay, okay. Well, you're driving. You're a passenger?
No, I'm driving.
Okay.
I just stopped by.
Okay. All right. That's what. Okay. That's a whole new way to have a meeting. That was like Ara yesterday. Okay. Let's go ahead and drill a little bit deeper into Cynthia's card. So, to the secretary, please put down the idea of our KPIs for Cynthia. So, we have some micro conversion points and we have some macro conversion points. The macro conversion points could be the total number of people who actually become interns at Bukit Vista divided by time, right? So how many new internships are we bringing in over a month? The micro conversion points could be how many attendees, how many email, how large our email list is become, these things. Then Cynthia would then have a very visible and a very real way to understand progress. If your email list is increasing by 20% a month, then you know that you are growing your overall category. If your Instagram is growing over 20% a month, then you would also know that you possibly are doing pretty well in this category too as well. Next question, which is over to Gani. Gani, would you be able to open Instagram and show us what the stats are on Instagram? The reason I asked this is I believe I saw a huge spike on our Instagram follower and activity a few days ago. I thought that was due to Kezia's activity, but I think it was due to UE people signing up, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So because I just realized that yesterday I asked Kiki and Cynthia, they one of them made a form that if you want to sign up on the webinar, you have to follow Bukit Vista Instagram.com. So wow.
Not bad. Yeah, that's actually okay. So that's actually really sweet. That is a quite targeted audience. Now, here's a question Now, what do we do, Gani? Is this the right Instagram for the students to follow?
It For my perspective, it should be LinkedIn because
Yep.
it's perfect source from professional for learning. But I think it's okay too if you follow the Instagram.
Okay, all right. Let's go over to Ara. Ara, do you think it's okay too, or should we do something else? Over to Ara.
Actually, I don't know how is Bukit Vista Life doing.
Oh, good question. What happened to Bukit Vista Life? That was Vita's project,
Because
right?
yeah, because we used to put all students there, right?
Yeah,
To like the daily activities of
yeah,
the work. So
yeah.
it's a little bit different. I mean, like if you want and passionate for students to follow, I think Bukit Vista Life is more relevant because it's more on the team rather than the property. Bukit Vista is for
Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. Over to Rizal for
This is
clarification.
this actor.
Show us. Show us. Show us. Put it right up to the screen. Wow. Big, huge jump up. Yeah. On Thursday. That was
Yes, sir.
yesterday. Wow. Nice. Wow. We went past 4,000.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Yay. One shot. More webinars. Ooh-wee. Okay. That's
Yeah,
the
I
secret, everyone.
500 people
Wow.
visit my profile, and yeah.
Okay, okay. That's great. Hey, look, everyone, we've discovered a secret to Instagram growth. Sometimes you grow on Instagram by doing very good. Cynthia, what's the two letters I'm looking for?
Sorry, sir.
Sometimes you can succeed on Instagram by doing very good what? It starts with P. P.
Preferred.
No, it's PR. It's PR. It's PR, right? Good
Yeah,
PR can grow your Instagram account.
PR. Yeah, PR.
So Instagram, remember, social media is still social media. It's not like you can grow all the way just by being a social entity, right? Or an online entity. It really helps to have offline. I know in this case it's not entirely offline, but I think you get it, right? Like you need to have an experience, and that experience makes you want to actually care about the brand. So I think this is actually a really interesting idea. This is PR. This could be experiential marketing, right? In a way. So the experience creates this new interest in the marketing. All right, Rizal, over to you. Oh, yeah, nice, nice. That's incredible. Okay, yeah, very good, very good. That's a lot of interest. That's tons of. That's like a windfall of energy coming in. That's better than getting 10 influencers, right? Let's go over to Rizal. Rizal, we need to be clear. Is it better to have separate Instagram accounts for students and guests, or is it okay to combine it?
We have to separate it because
Yes, we have
yeah,
to separate.
the audience sometimes uh, it could be our friendly metric, but also it can be our disruption because sometimes we see the Instagram audience is mostly on Denpasar and then the Jakarta audience. So it's like uh, we're not targeting them, but sometimes that number could be our maybe can be our target. So
Yeah,
it's like a disruption, and that's yeah
it's a disruption.
for the
We need to have two separate accounts, everyone, right? And this is important about project management in terms of prioritization. If you don't prioritize your audiences, then your content will not be engaging for either audience. It's always a compromise. If people who want to follow, let's say, I don't know, let's say they want to follow motorcycles, right? But you keep on posting car pictures, then you really need to think about your concept, right? Maybe you are an automobile site or whatever that is. You need to find, okay, what is your vision and your mission? What is like the purpose? Why do people come to your site? So you need to be more intentional about that. Yes, there could be overlapping arcs where people who want to work here have the same interest as people who want to travel here, but generally those are very, very thin. So if you post pictures of like team barbecues and Cynthia's aspirational story, guests probably might not care too much about that, but that's very inspirational for an audience of employees. Inspire Delight, that's why we said three different people, right? It's guests, partners, and employees because these are going to be inspired differently, not by the same content. Any growth of social media depends heavily on engagement, as we learned from her name started with B. We learned from B. Cynthia.
It start with B.
Yes, yes, Tandy, thank you. It's Virtue. We learned that from Virtue that the progress of engagement is what creates virality. So if you get people who like it really quickly and it snowballs up and up, over to Ara. Ara, how many views have you had on your Sandra Comas article already?
Now 10,000.
Wow, 10,000. You want to get 10,000 more?
How?
Write one for Jabu. I'm sure Jabu has a huge network.
I see.
Ah.
Okay.
So this is the way it turns, right? You got what? How quickly did you get your first reaction on LinkedIn, Ara?
How quick? It's minutes, like few minutes
Right,
after
and that's key. Within minutes, you should be looking to get your first reaction on any social media platform. That first reaction grows exponentially because the platforms are testing out your content, and they see that your content is creating engagement. They double your exposure, they double your reach. They keep on doing that until more people will engage with it. So the sooner somebody engages with you, the faster you'll start growing. And you might be able to artificially improve this. Like when we post on LinkedIn, everybody, all right, tell everybody to like it, right? And that will set the ball rolling, and that will get everybody else who's connected to your friends to start seeing this more quickly on their LinkedIn too as well. Okay? All right, great. Let's continue then. So this was really fun. Yes, Shanti.
Sorry. Yeah. Actually, talking about the separate Instagram later, actually, I'm planning to take over the Bukit Vista Live
Great.
for the next month. So maybe start from the next month, we can start to post about BVE Talk there, and
Great.
also our other, not related to guest post there. And then, I'm not sure. I think, first of all, I'd like to encourage everyone here to have their own BVE Talk because BVE Talk, it belongs to BV, guys. It's not belong to me. So I do encourage you to make one. And then, it will be fun and it will be addicted. Right, Ara. I think Ara has been addicted.
Yes.
So, yeah.
It's way better than getting 100 Instagram followers to get real followers, right? Okay, all right. Let's continue. Thank you. But also, Cynthia, one piece of feedback. You have some feedback coming back from the surveys, and the strange thing was that they all asked for a PowerPoint. I'm not. A lot of people asked for a PowerPoint. I'm not sure why people would expect a PowerPoint in a panel discussion, but anyways, that might be something you as a host could control, right? That we have a panel and we will be sort of activating this panel. So that was an interesting piece of feedback. All right, let's continue. I told Tendy that we would look at some of his cards today. So, but then Tendy got in a little bit late and he wasn't in the card roll. We'll open one of Tendy's cards and I'll try to get to it before the end. Okay, let's turn. Okay, next one. Let's go next to Rizal. Rizal, tell us more about your card, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Basically, this is this card is um, apa namanya, to reaching the marketing chapter mission, which is acquiring property in everywhere. And basically, I used apa Mas Bayu has hybrid checklist to make me more focus on that what problem that I have to solve, and then what the friction I have to fix. And so based on that, I can make action that actually apa terikat with the action and also the objective.
Okay.
And basically, my update is I already said due date yesterday, which is 29 of July, and the activity is for launching the ad itself. And basically I already apa namanya already launched the ad, but I'm not recorded yet because it's running by today.
Okay, interesting. Let's go over and let's take this template here also. Let's go over to Cynthia. Cynthia, by looking at this card, can you understand what Rizal is working on? Sorry, I lost the card. I need to get the card back. Okay, here it is. All right. Oh, Rizal, is this the correct card?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Let's go over to Cynthia. Cynthia, quickly looking at this card, can you figure out where Rizal is going?
Mm, um, I'm not sure, so I know the context or not. Since as a person from the other chapter, I think I still feel like a little bit confused.
Okay, great. It means that we have maybe to explain this context a little bit, but ideally, it would be so easy that Cynthia could just see it and understand what's going on. That's in an ideal world, right? Let's go over to Ara. Ara, you're not from this chapter. Looking at this card, can you kind of understand what Rizal is trying to do? Nope. See you, Cynthia.
I think in the terms of elaborate of the words, sir. I
Okay.
think it needs to be better in that part.
Okay, got it. Maybe more elaborate of the words. Okay, let's see. Let's go over to somebody in marketing. Let's go over to Gunny. Gunny, what would you say about Rizal's card?
Um, uh, on the result card is very structured since beginning. Uh, we should take time to really focus really apa ya really yeah basically we need takes time to really understand what is our goal, how to measure it is successful or not. So yeah, that's why I'm saying to myself, oh, I believe when you create this card, it takes time to create that first time, and along the way, it makes easy for you to apa to monitoring the progress, and I believe uh, from other people that are curious about this card, and by looking the checklist, I believe it will be get make easier to understand.
Okay, very good. I like how Rizal has a success indicator, right? So he's defined what success looks like. 52 clicks on manage my property and a lead that actually sends in an inquiry. Okay, so that part is clear to me. What is not clear to me yet, and perhaps Rizal can tell me where it is the breakdown of the communication mission, right? So who is the audience? What is the message? What is the timing? And I guess we're using Facebook, of course. Okay, so what is the channel, right? So I think for each pivot, that would make it very clear. Um, you know, what's like, give me as much knowledge about your audience as possible. These are Thai people, yeah, okay, but like when say for example when I did my cards on the Indonesian developers, I broke them down by companies, right? So you could see that top level, that was the main focus of each experiment. I would choose a different company to work on. This is Sinarmas and this is Chiputra. So that broke it down by company. But if you're breaking it down by, let's say, nationality, are you further breaking it down? Yes, Mr. Secretary, please write on the card. Okay, are you further breaking it down into more finite categories, or I don't know, maybe it's actually encapsulated in this progress sheet. Let's go ahead and open that up. I might not have seen that, but okay, let's see. Okay, so I can see a little bit more inside what you're doing, and this is good. Okay, cool. All right, so all the details are here. Is that correct, result? All right, cool.
Yes, sir. And actually, this is the third MVP. So yeah, the details on there. Yeah.
Okay, and the third MVP is over on this side. Okay, all right, cool. All right, excellent. So now I can see what type of, ooh, in Thai as well. Okay, great. That's an interesting experiment. Interesting experiment. But let's hope this person who writes to us can speak English because nobody here speaks Thai. Let's go to result.
Basically, I suddenly changed the content because I do some research on the property management in Thailand. They're not using Thai language, but they use English. So I change this again, and
Okay.
yeah, I use English right now.
Okay, great. Every time you make a change result, I think you need to make a new card or a new iteration. It's not a lot of work. It's really just to create a new card. You just copy it, or no, you just create template. You create a new one, and that way you list your change up on your hypothesis, right? What is it that your hypothesis is now? But okay, as long as you can keep track of it, and as long as everyone else can keep track of it, then I think we can see what's going on. All right, this is cool. I see Rizal's messaging. I see his content, and I see his audience information here, the location, the age, and the interest. That's great. Okay, so now we can get a little bit more detail. At the same time, Rizal, I would suggest that, once again, remember how ads work, right? And this is also project management. I want to stress this idea of doing experiments in parallel than in sequence. In sequence is you finish one experiment, and then you work on another experiment, and then you work on another experiment. Let's say, for example, like Rizal, right? He wants to understand Thailand and if it'll work. He can create one audience, but he can create 3 or 4 or 5 different ads to target that audience. And maybe at the same time, he can set 2 campaigns targeting 2 different audiences with the same content, right? So you can create almost like 8, 9, 10, whatever different experiments at the same time running. When you look at Yojin's dashboard, when Yojin was running, Yojin is my friend at Airbnb who runs paid advertising campaigns. You'll see hundreds of experiments running at the same time, each with small budgets. So what Yojin is trying to figure out is she's planting seeds everywhere, right? She's planting seeds over here, over there, everywhere, and she's seeing which one is going to sprout. When you bring this information, let's say to a consultant like Virtue, Virtue can then really quickly look down and she can help you eyeball and identify which one of your seeds is growing, like the way that we did yesterday. Now, when we talked to Virtue, remember, Virtue looked at a list of maybe 7 or 8 experiments, right? She was able to tell you which one was the most successful. What if you had 100 experiments to show Virtue? Then she would be able to look down that, and you would be able to see what real good success could look like. So if you start with more experiments, then you'll get much closer, I think, to actually using your time better, but also seeing like where that is. Now, the limitation is how creative you can be, right? How many ideas you can come up with at one time. And this is where you can go and you shop your ideas around in your discussion groups where you ask maybe other people, Ara, Shintia, hey, look, if you were Thai, what would you do, right? Do you have, where does do your parents own property? Do your parents know anybody who owns property? What age are there? What sort of like do they like? And then you get all these ideas for personas, and then you can start testing out the persona category. And then you can multiply that with different ad sets, right? Like, because Facebook will automatically pair different ads to the persona. So that part is done automatically on Facebook. Okay, but the main point is when you start experiments, you should do more things in parallel all at the same time rather than finishing one, doing next one, finishing one, doing it. Then you will be far more effective and efficient, okay? The same goes with anybody who's trying to do discovery. Like when we do CSC or trying a new messaging campaign, think about, okay, people are not responding to me right now, so I'm going to try a bunch of different ways. I'm going to try using WhatsApp. I'm going to try using this, but I'm keeping track. I'm keeping track of which channel I'm getting the best results from, and that way later I can rely and lean on that channel for success. Okay, cool. This is actually pretty interesting. So good luck with this result. I think this is good and highly experimental template. Let's go next to optimizing Facebook page to generate leads. We got 22 minutes still. This is Gani. All right, Gani, tell us more about what you got here.
Okay, so basically I create this pivot. I use the Lily's chart structure to make it more structure. I set the initiative starting date at 29 July, and I add the background, and I set the intended result, and also the hypothesis, the performance indicator as well, and I attach evidence and source of learning. And okay, so I said the date of project is only 1 week. I try to make it short, and the milestone is okay. So first, The milestone is I try to find insight from learning source first, and then planning create content. I'm planning for 1 week, and then the execution part, the post content, and after that the monitoring stage, which is got 2 action button clicks, 1 inquiry, 20 organic page view, and 200 organic posts.
Okay, really cool. Let's go over to Tendi. Tendi, looking at Gunny's milestone, will you be able to track his progress as he moves down this project?
Um, I think the milestone. I didn't know the context yet. Like find insight from learning source, post content. What content that he want to post? I don't know. I think need more details. So,
Yeah.
for example, like the other chapter easily to understand as well, because maybe in your chapter it's know that what you are doing, but from for me that it's hard to understand. Like what usually that you want to reach on the milestone.
Okay, very good. All right, Gani. So this is actually interesting. This goes back to the stack of communication, right? Audience, message, timing, and channel. So when we say we post content, that's the very nature of our hypothesis, right? So a certain type of content will attract people to start engaging on Facebook. And I understand that you are in a pre-hypothesis mode right now, where you are looking for a hypothesis. In fact, you're searching for insights to actually create what kind of content you want to create. I think you can break this into two cards, Gani, right? So I think you can break this into your hypothesis here is that yes, you can get more exposure by learning from your 14 ways to increase Facebook page engagement, right? That's your first hypothesis. You're going to learn something and then be able to post something here. Your second card should be what is that principle that you're applying? So, what is that principle in terms of how you have now a content strategy or messaging strategy? How does it apply to your audience strategy, your timing strategy, and your channel is kind of already fixed. So, your Facebook part is already there. But this in itself, I believe, should be two separate cards, right? So you are pre-hypothesis. You don't have a definite hypothesis yet. We don't really know what is going to be your experiment. You're sort of working on your hypothesis is that you will find something in this learning material here that will inspire you to create some content that will then create the next step, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that part I think needs to be clarified. Everything else is good. I think you have your ideas of your KPIs. You have actually towards the end you have an idea of what success looks like, and that's really good. That's strong and powerful. And then you might want to collaborate also with the person sitting next to you, Andre, because he's working on the community, and also Tendi is working on the community too as well. So the idea of this Facebook page, remember, at some point was to drive community engagement. And I remember at some point, Andre and Tendi, we were talking about creating a Facebook group for our actual owners too as well, right? So that we have a single place to engage our owners. Right now, if we want to make an announcement to them, we have to WhatsApp them one at a time, and it's not very efficient. It's not highly engaging. So I think this could be an interesting thought process, right? That then goes back to fundamentals again, Gani. So do we create a new Facebook group for that? Do we use the existing Facebook page for that? So that's the process that Shafri was talking about, the VP of Gojek, right? Really going back and refining the problem, really thinking about what you really want to do, and getting that super clear, right? Before we actually start our execution. So the danger I see here, Gani, the risk here is that maybe we haven't fully understood the way what our strategy is, right? So Facebook is a tool once again, and I think we have the audience of let's take a look. What audience are we targeting?
Potential property owners.
Property owners, very good. Okay, we're targeting property owners. That's good. That's clear. All right. We need to have a strategy of communication for our property owners. All right. And we need to know, okay, do we create a group? Do we create a Facebook page? Do we create a Facebook page that supports a group? That I think is fundamental. And after we have a good strategy, then I think we think about content, we think about messaging, we think about timing. So you're gonna have to, I think, also get together with Tendi and Andre to really seal that down, just like what Cynthia just did previously with the Bukit Vista Life, right? So I think she's thought about it. We've talked about why we need a separate channel. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, right, for potential employees. Okay, but the structure here at this point is clearer, and it allows us to have this strategical conversation easier because we can see where you want to do. And I think that allows us to identify if there's a strategy gap. Okay, next over to, all right, let's go over to Tendi. Tendi, let's take your cards. All right, tell me more about your card, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. So actually, this is my new initiative and to make a group, a partner group channel for communication channel actually. So I didn't put the channel yet because I need to know first. So I don't want to decide first which one the channel, but I would like to have a pre-research so I know which actually the channel that usually they use. Maybe Telegram, I don't know, but might be Facebook, and then maybe which other channel. So that's mean sorry, that's why I make the partner communication channel, and then maybe for the pivot, maybe that's the next after I got the channel.
Nice.
I know which channel, and then that's the next my next pivot. But here I would like to know first if this is worth it or not. So I will ask the partner first to make a interview or survey, and then there's also actually the if you look at the problem that I would like to solve, it's actually the scalable communication of messaging and triggering also the community and contribute also involved together in our partner. So that's actually the problem that I want to solve.
Mhm.
And then why we need this actually because we need more scalable and spread out information in the program and the time efficiency of the messaging. And then of course the who will benefit is the Bukit Vista community. So all the community include our team and then the partner as well.
Mhm.
And then the user need is the communication channel that more scalable and easy to use. So it's like their daily routine to open the channel. So it's not like they need to open, but they actually already open like a for their daily routine like that.
Okay, very good, very good. All right, that's actually really interesting. Let's drill down further. Let's give some feedback to Tendi over here. Shithia, what feedback do you want to give for Tendi?
Yep, I think this is a great idea since we haven't had that kind of community like in one place. And then my feedback will be like maybe I'm not sure. I think I can't give a feedback enough, but I think we should make sure that it will be maintained good, and then it will be used good in the future.
Got it.
That's
Okay,
all.
very interesting. All right, thank you very much, Cynthia. Right, we have to remember that any particular thing that we create, creation is sort of easy, but taking care of it is hard. Sort of like how children work, right? The long process of the long process of actually servicing that channel and making sure that there's enough engaging content is limited by our human resource budget. Meaning, let's say Cynthia right now she wants to kind of pivot over to let's say PR, right? So this idea is actually only possible if we have a person who's going to be dedicated to servicing something like as high frequency as Instagram. So when you pick a channel, be definitely very aware of what the expectation of engagement is. On something like Instagram, the expectation of engagement is generally daily, or maybe multiple times a day. If you're following somebody, you really want to see their content maybe a few times a day, not like a few times a month, right? So that creates a higher amount of production and a higher amount of everything, right, to get to that particular idea. So do you understand the pros and cons of each channel? If you create an email list, that might be cool, but maybe a lot of owners don't check email, right? Tendi, oh, let's go over to Gani. Gani, what would be your first step to advise Tendi on picking the right channel so that he gets the outcome that he wants? And I like this, right? I like how, okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, all right. Let's go over to Gani for the implementation ideas.
Okay, on the implementation idea, based on the marketing side, that first we need to determine the audience, right? The audience is property owner. That what platform that property owners usually do. Is it uh, WhatsApp? Okay, okay. Every property owner use WhatsApp, but is it too noise or not? And the second is like then we said the Telegram. We don't know. And the last is Facebook. The Facebook. But how the determine the audience is it's crucial here because we need to really drill down what is the user behavior on the Balinese. So yeah, it's crucial things here. But before we jump into the channel, and we need to determine the audience first.
Okay, very good. Now let's go over to Tendi. Tendi, now this is a good scaling question. Is our audience Balinese or is it a little bit broader, or what do you think, Tendi?
That's why I would like to pick five partner in the each region, and I would like to pick up in the every different people like from the age like 20 until 30, and then the 30 until next, and then the foreign, and then the so I got like a so that's I want the sample that can representative all
Okay,
like that. So
all right,
yeah,
very
so not
interesting.
only one that's category.
All right, great. Thank you. Let's go ahead and take a quick look. I have a discovery opportunity, and let's see who's discovered this. And when I look at this part of implementation ideas, I see something that might not be quite right. Can anybody else see it too on discovery? Result.
Mm, I don't know. I consist on the collect data of the username channel in BV community. What is
Okay.
the Mas Dandi?
But more fundamental, more urgent than that result.
Oh,
Okay,
right.
let's go over to Ara. Ara, do you see anything that maybe we could help Tendi improve?
You mean from everyone in here?
No, from implementation ideas.
Um, I'll pass to other first, sir.
Okay, let's go over to Cynthia. Cynthia, do you see it?
I'm not sure. I think on the get five pattern in each region for survey about the right group channel. How did you want to decide it? I mean, like, do you will like make a lot of channel so you will know the effective one or what? I'm still confused and yeah,
Okay.
thanks for time.
Okay, more fundamental than that. More fundamental than that, Cynthia. That part I think I understand, right? So he's going to get like a random sample. He's going to get 5 people from region 1, 2, 3, and 4 and ask them about what channel that they use. You are right. We could actually provide a little bit more clarity, I think, Tendi, on sort of what that actually what you're going to ask them. Like what question will you ask them to find what channel? Let's go over to Rizal. Rizal, I think, has an idea.
I think I want to try the answer. So maybe the implementation idea is we can use Facebook page because it's more scalable than the Facebook group, and also it can more not reaching only Balinese but also all audience all over the world.
Good. Thank you. All right, Tendi, here, helpful advice, room to grow, constructive feedback. This is a checklist, right? This is a milestone list. An implementation idea is slightly different. An implementation idea is what is your plan, right? Like, what is your not like your plan broken down into stages, but what is your how are you going to make this happen, right? So what Rizal just said is a possibility that we can use the possibility of using a Facebook page to get this thing to happen. But you need to have a few plans, right? A few ideas of what your solutions are. Once you have plans, then you have, like a checklist, like a milestone. But have a few plans too as well. The way I want to actually sort of zoom out is let's take a look at this, and then let's take a look at the implementation ideas that we have for something in product. So remember, like I'll give a contrast here: product development. Okay. Let's say, for example, I don't know, data visualization, right? Okay. Let's say if they have an implementation idea. Oh, no, they don't, because this one has only one implementation idea. Okay, let's see. Maybe this one. This one isn't even populated. This is not good. Q&A testing for now. Let's see, prototype. Okay, here's what I mean. Okay, so this is case management attending, right? So this is the case management feature that Nadine and I think a few other people are working on right now in product. So what we have here is that we have a problem that we want to solve, which is losing track of this is the problem. This is falling in love with the problem, right? These are the problems that we want to solve. And then this are two ideas of how we can solve it, right? We can identify the case within Bukit Vista, or the partner can submit a case ticket. I think we've chosen to go for the first one, identifying the case ourselves. So what this implementation idea is what are the different pathways that we can take to solve the problem? The milestones are later, right? The milestones are like, okay, what we think about later. But what's important, I think, at this phase, Tendi, is for you to just kind of come up with a few ideas of which pathways you could take. There's pathway A, pathway B, pathway C. So what this allows you to do is it allows you to not get too in love with a certain solution, right? So you can call your pathway A, eventually I want to use a Facebook group, right? Pathway B is eventually I want to use a Facebook page. Pathway C is eventually I'll use an email list or something. So you can even name these plans. This is like plan A, plan B, plan C. And then once you have that, then the checklist kind of then gives a little bit more dimension all around each pathway. Okay, Tendi, does that make sense? Okay, great. So checklists go up at the top for milestones. They would go up here, but the implementation idea would be what your solution would be, right? And definitely have a few solutions in mind so that you don't get too committed to one, right? Then we go into that whole thing of sunk cost fallacy where we've already spent a week in this, we feel like we need to spend more time. Okay, good. Let's take a look at another one of Tendi's cards. This is C.2. This is ultimate service, bigger training, and features on-site team. Okay, great. So let's take a look at the background, Tendi. Tell us more about this card.
Okay, so why I make this card based on the background. So there is a lot of traffic still on the WhatsApp, and currently we are success to reduce on our team. So on the BV, but we are still have a friction on the WhatsApp for the partner and then the staff. So yeah, I would like to make this initiative to actually fix the current problem on WhatsApp traffic for the long term. So and then also for on the WhatsApp also that's not well maintained because when you change your phone, it will be gone all the message and the story will be gone as well. And then also it's hard to find that story as well to going up. So yeah, I would like to actually make it because we in the product development we had they already produced the bigger, and then actually that's great for the so for us as well and then for SAR. So actually we can focus like each guest they have each story, so it's like a well maintained for the history of the guest, and then we easily to search just the name of the guest. But on the WhatsApp, it's hard because there's a lot of context, and then like which guest this is, we don't know, right? And then the
Yes.
photo and everything. Yeah, so that's why I would like to make this to solve that problem.
Yep. Okay. Got it. Got it. Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm telling you, I could just stop blending her smoothie. It's really loud. Okay. We've run out of time, but I think this is actually a really interesting project. And Tendi, by the way, you probably can get HR's expertise on this because HR has been rolling out communication programs and getting people to sort of, adopt these pretty successfully across the company. So that's within, like, let's say, a more controlled environment. But I think we have some experience here, and this might be a good way of extending your capabilities to promote culture of using a particular tool, right? So there is internal success in these type of programs already, and I would encourage you to explore and see if there's any ways that you can learn from HR and how we are getting, let's say, everyone to use Slack, Trello, Google Calendar, all these tools inside, and it will be a similar journey, perhaps, to getting the on-site teams to do it as well. Okay, that's pretty much it. I need quick feedback from everybody on how today's session went. We didn't get too much time to talk about cards, or sorry, like topics, but we talked a little bit more about cards. So let's see how that goes. Let's go over to Andre first. Feedback for today's session.
Actually, we've been doing the same things like last Thursday. We keep tracking every card, what happened, what's the update, and how, and figure out how the best way to create a card and let everyone know about the progress. I think by doing that, we'll keep improving ourselves. We keep understanding about which the best way, which the best what's the best template of card to make. So let everyone know about that, and also we keep improving in the every section about creating card, let's say on the background or maybe hypothesis. But now we are moving not that we do improve. We are skip on the hypothesis, and then we are more like in a checklist section now to define the milestone, to define the what's that what's the last that we define the implementation area. So we are improving now that we are not repeat talking about the basic description about the card.
Good, good. We're progressing then. Okay, sounds like we're not getting stuck on basic things. Let's go over to Gunny. Gunny, your feedback?
Um, Pretty much same with Andre. We still doing same with last meeting, but yeah, more understand what is the best thing for us.
Okay, very good. Let's go over to Cynthia. Cynthia.
Yes, sir. I think we are improved. Also, we have our secretary today, so I think the feedback already write on the card because the previous one we didn't write it on the card.
Okay.
So yeah, that is improvement for today.
Okay, good. So we have a way of tracking things. All right, next over to Rizal.
Yeah, I think I like the method how to observe the each card in our team, because we still develop how to be a good project management. So why I rather like this rather than using rather than we divide time to have a discussion, because yeah, I think it's still correct time to at the beginning, it's still correct time. We still need a formula how to get efficient card, and also can also easy to observe and also easy to see.
Okay, very good. Let's go next to Ara. Thank you.
Okay, I think it's very helpful for everyone so that you keep track on the you guys project. You guys already know like where to pivot, where to make new initiatives based on the feedback cycle that is pretty fast that we get from each other. So yeah.
Okay, excellent. Let's go next to Tendi. Tendi.
Mm, yeah, I think this is good, sir. So I think this is good for everyone that joined. Yes, but what I'm thinking is like for the next, because I believe this is not it will be like a continuing, right?
Mm.
So for the next, what we will do? So do we like still just like have look each card, and then just only us know, or how we spread out to all the member.
Ah,
So make sure all the team have a same knowledge
okay.
about this, and then we are in the same vision as well and the
Excellent.
mission like
Very
that.
good question. All right. For that, Tendi, this is what leadership is about. People who come here then take this knowledge and then they become repeaters of this knowledge to the rest of their teams. So if somebody wants to come here and learn it from the source, that's by all means fine. I would love to, bring people in, but I think it's upon you now, right? You have the knowledge, you know what to do, and it's your chance to give the gift back to somebody else, and allow them to proceed. So do think about that, right? Now that you know, good leaders create other leaders as well, and the more you can do that, the more you become a senior leader, right? Because if everyone around you doesn't know how to do anything, then you're not very senior at all. But if everyone around you is very capable and you're able to channel this energy, then that's how you become a director, right? When you're a director, everyone around you is a vice president. When you're a vice president, everybody around you is like a senior manager. When you're a senior manager, everyone around you is like maybe a junior manager. When you're a junior manager, maybe everyone around you is. And so the quality of the people around you that you're creating gives you the opportunity to actually go up too as well. That's sort of like just naturally how it works. Okay, good thoughts. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys at the next one. We'll take a look back at some of the cards that we studied on Tuesday and see if there's any progression. And hopefully, over iterations, we'll wash, and everything will get cleaner, and more focused over time. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a nice day. Okay, bye bye.